I am 3 years older. I'm almost as lonesome as you are. Why not join forces, Murk?" "Sir?" "If I showed you a corner where you would fit in, would you be loyal? Would you stand by me, help me fight if it was necessary, and all that?" "You just try me, that's all." "Very well, Murk. I'm going to trust you. I told you the truth when I said I had $1,000,000. I have but one friend I can depend on, and I have enemies. I like to fight, Murk, but I like to have a good pal at my back when I do." "That's me, too, sir. But I ain't never had the pal." "You've got one now, Murk. You'd be dead now but for me. So you must be my man. Understand?" "I don't quite getcha." "You're under my orders from now on, Murk. We'll have a nice row, standing back to back, perhaps. I'll take you on as a sort of valet and bodyguard. You'll have good clothes and a home and plenty to eat and a bit of money to spend. I'll expect you to be loyal. If I find that you are not, well, Murk, I got back yesterday from Central America. I got my $1,000,000 down there by fighting for it, and there were times when I had to handle men roughly. I can read men, Murk. Can you imagine what I'd do to a man who double-crossed me?" "I getcha now. You needn't be afraid I'll double-cross you. I don't think this is real." "It's real, Murk. If we strike a bargain. Do we?" "I've got everything to win and nothing to lose. So we do," Murk said. "Fair enough. Now we'll get off this dock. Pick up your cap and coat." Murk picked them up and put them on, and then he followed at Prale's heels until they were on the street and beneath the nearest light. There they stopped and looked each other over. Murk was short, but he was built for strength. Prale could tell at a glance that the man, even poorly nourished as he was, had muscles that could be depended on. Prale liked the look around Murk's eyes, too. Murk was a dog man, the sort that proves faithful to the end if treated right. "Well, how do you like me?" Prale asked. "You look good to me, sir." "My name is Sidney Prale." "Yes, Mr. Prale." "You understand our little deal thoroughly?" "Yes, sir." "Come along, then. Here's a cigar. Light up." Murk lighted the cigar, and Prale lighted another, and they went rapidly up the street to Fifth Avenue. Prale signaled a passing taxicab, and they got in. When the cab stopped, it was in a district where some cheap clothing stores remain open until almost midnight. Half an hour later they emerged again. Murk was dressed in a suit which was somber in tone, and which was not at all a bad fit. He was dressed in new clothing from the skin out. Prale took him to a barber shop and waited until the barber gave Murk a haircut and a shave. "Gosh," Murk said, when he looked at himself in the glass. "This can't be me." "It is, however," Prale assured him. "Now we'll go home, Murk, and get settled." "Where is home?" Prale named the hotel. "I'd get thrown out on my bean if I ever stuck my nose in the kitchen door," Murk said. "You're not going into the kitchen, Murk. You're going to be registered as my valet and bodyguard, and you're going up in the elevator with me. Kindly remember, Murk, that you are the personal servant of Mr. Sidney Prale." "Yes, sir." "And your boss has $1,000,000, and nobody knows how many secret enemies. Those things give you a standing, Murk. When we are alone, of course, you'll be a sort of pal. I never had a valet before, and I couldn't stand a regular one. Instead of being a valet, When we are alone, I want you to be a regular fellow." "I get you, Mr. Prale." "Off we go, then." They arrived at the hotel, and Prale registered Murk as his valet and took him up to the suite. "You bunk in there, Murk," Prale said, pointing to another room. "Take a bath and go to bed and get some rest. If you are inclined to throw me down, you'll find some money and jewelry in the top drawer of the dresser. Rob me and sneak out during the night if you want to. Cut my throat if it's necessary." "You needn't be afraid, sir. You can trust me." "I do," said Sidney Prale. Prale slept well that night. When he awoke in the morning, Murk was dressed and sitting by the window. He drew Prale's bath without being told, and then stood around as if waiting to be of service. I found this slipped under your door, sir," he said after a time. "What is it, Murk?" "A piece of paper with writing on it, sir." "More news from the enemy, I suppose. What does it say?" "It says as how a man's sin always finds him out." "That's interesting, isn't it? Do you think I am a sinner of some sort, Murk?" "I don't care if you are, sir." "Murk! You needn't get excited about it. Put the paper in the lower drawer of the dresser. I'm making a collection of them," Prale said. He went back into the other room and continued dressing. "Go to the telephone and order breakfast served to us here, Murk," he directed. "What shall I order, sir?" "Order plenty of whatever you like, and tell them to make it double," said Prale. Murk grinned and gave a proper order. Prale was dressed by the time the breakfast was served. He and Murk made a hearty meal. And then Prale lighted his morning cigar and began reading the newspapers. Murk went around the suite, straightening things and trying to be of service. He looked at Sidney Prale often. It was plain to be seen that Prale was Murk's kind of man. There came a knock at the door. "See who it is, Murk," Sidney Prale said. He did not even look up from the paper he was reading. He supposed it was some hotel employee. Murk stalked across to the door and threw it open. 2 men stood there. Murk flinched when he saw them. He did not know either of them, but he knew them immediately for what they were. Murk was a man of experience. "Mr. Prale in?" one of them asked. "Yes, sir." Without asking permission, the 2 men stepped inside, and one of them closed the door. Prale dropped the newspaper and turned around to face them. "Are you Sidney Prale?" one of them asked. "I am." "You are under arrest, Mr. Prale." "I beg your pardon?" "Under arrest, I said. You know your rights, perhaps, so you need not talk unless you wish to do so." "You are officers?" They showed their shields. "Straight from headquarters," one of them replied. "We want to take a look around your room while we are here." "Suppose," said Sidney Prale, "that you tell me first why I am under arrest? Of what crime am I accused?" "You are charged with murder." "Murder? What crazy joke is this?" Prale cried. "And what particular person am I accused of murdering?" "You are charged with the murder of Mr. Rufus Shepley," the detective replied. Chapter 7.